You know, those first few days after a sow farrows, they can literally make or break your entire production cycle. If you get it right, everything just flows. But if you get it wrong, well, you're constantly playing catch up. So in this explainer, we're going to build a really clear, actionable blueprint for post-farrowing success. We'll cover everything from fueling the sow to transitioning her piglets. Let's dive in.
So here's our game plan. We're going to follow the litter's journey right from the start. First, we'll lock in on the sow's needs right after she gives birth. Then we'll zoom in on the piglets, get them through that super stressful weaning period, and get their new home set up perfectly. And at the end, we'll wrap it all up into a simple success blueprint you can use, well, every single day.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. The health, the performance, the whole future of that litter really hinges on getting these first few days right. And that all begins and ends with the sow. Look, if there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. It's the most important equation in the farrowing house. What you put into the sow, good quality feed and plenty of water, comes right back out as milk. And that milk is what gives those piglets the strong start they need. It's really that simple. And it's the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about. Okay, so let's think of the sow as a high-performance engine. How do we fuel that engine correctly? Well, it's about so much more than just dumping feed in a trough. It's got to be a consistent, observable, and adjustable routine. This 5-step process, this isn't just about feeding. This is your daily health checkup for every single sow. Making her stand up, that lets you check her legs, her mobility. Watching how fast she cleans up her feed, that tells you everything about her appetite and how she's feeling. This is how you spot a little problem before it blows up into a big crisis. And here's where the science comes into play. This feed curve isn't random. We're not just throwing more food at her. We are strategically ramping up her intake to perfectly match her milk production, which is going to peak right around day 16. If we mess this up, she starts burning her own body reserves to feed her piglets. And trust me, that's a debt you'll be paying for in her next litter. And this number just drives that point home. It makes it so real. That feed curve isn't just a guideline. A sow nursing a big litter, say 14 piglets, needs a whopping 9.3 kilograms of feed every single day just to keep up. That number tells you just how demanding lactation is and why hitting those feed targets is so incredibly important. But here's the thing. A chart can't see the animal standing in front of you. This is where great stockmanship, that gut feeling, makes all the difference. You have to learn to read the sow. Does she look a little thin? She needs more fuel in the tank. A bit on the heavy side? Time to ease back. The art is in tailoring the science to each individual. You can add the most perfect, expensive feed in the world, but without water, it's practically useless. She needs about 30 liters a day. But here's the real kicker, the flow rate. If she has to fight the nipple to get a drink, she's just going to give up. So please, grab a bucket and a stopwatch. If you can't get 4 liters in 1 minute from every single nipple, you are leaving productivity on the table. Simple as that. All right, so we've fueled the engine. Now, let's turn our attention to the precious cargo. With the sow's needs taken care of, our focus shifts to making sure her piglets don't just survive, they thrive. This might be the single most important question you can ask yourself in the farrowing house. And the best part? The piglets will tell you the answer, loud and clear, without ever making a sound. You just have to know what you're looking for. This right here is your piglet thermometer. If you see them piled up on top of each other, they're cold. They're burning precious energy just to stay warm. On the flip side, if they're scattered all over the place, avoiding the creep area, they're too hot. What you want to see is them lying comfortably near each other, but not in a big pile. It's such a simple but powerful visual cue. Iron is absolutely 100% essential. But here's the part a lot of people miss. Don't just give the shot and forget about it. You have to verify that it's working. Anemia can be a silent thief, robbing your piglets of growth and immunity. A quick blood test is the only way you'll know for sure that your protocol is actually effective. Weaning, man, it's arguably the most stressful day in a young pig's life. Think about it. We're changing their food, their home, and their family all at the same time. Getting this handover right is the key to avoiding that dreaded post-weaning slump. This concept of the immunity gap is so important. Imagine a knight in shining armor who suddenly has his armor taken away right before a battle. That's a piglet at weaning. The protection from his mom's milk is fading fast, but his own immune system isn't fully fired up yet. This gap is when they are most vulnerable. Our job is to bridge that gap with a spotless environment and by keeping them eating. So how do you convince a stressed-out piglet to try something new? You make it feel familiar. This liquid starter mix, it has a texture that reminds them of mom's milk, which encourages them to eat. By feeding it little and often, you keep their gut happy and bridge that dangerous gap between milk and solid feed. And I can't stress this enough. Cleanliness is non-negotiable. Rinse those troughs out after every single feeding. The transition isn't just about what they eat, it's about where they live. These piglets are leaving a perfect, sow-controlled little world. It's our job to make their new home as welcoming and stress-free as we possibly can, before they even set foot in it. You know, setting one temperature for a whole room is always going to be a compromise. A tiny piglet has totally different needs than its big brother in the same pen. That's why this two-climate system is so brilliant. You give them a warm, covered microclimate and a cooler open area. You let the pigs decide where they're comfortable. It's the easiest way to keep every pig in its own perfect comfort zone. And this quote just brings it all home, doesn't it? The data tables, the charts, they give you a starting point, but it's your eyes that give you the final answer. Are the pigs using the warm spot? Are they avoiding it? Their behavior is the ultimate feedback, telling you if you've really truly optimized their environment. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil all of this down into a simple, straightforward blueprint for success that you can use every day. This right here, this is your daily checklist. These 5 actions are the absolute foundation. If you do these things consistently, day in and day out, you're not just managing pigs anymore, you are actively building a resilient, healthy, and productive herd from the ground up. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Looking at your own operation, what's one single routine you could improve tomorrow? Maybe it's double-checking those water flow rates. Or maybe it's just spending 5 more minutes observing piglet behavior. Pick one thing from everything we've talked about and focus on making it just a little bit better tomorrow. Because those small, consistent improvements, that's what builds incredible long-term success.